Hello guys, it's your boy Trini here. Today we are comparing Green Goblin to other champions in the game. So firstly, I would like to apologize for the size of the video here, but it's watchable and it's just slightly smaller. So in this fight, we use Green Goblin against Realm of Legends Winter Soldier, so we go for the SP3 after this SP1. Yeah, so that's the SP3. It is in a bit far in time lapse though. So I evade that there. I use the heavy attack trying to activate the afterburner. And you can see that the SP1 there barely does a decent amount of damage, only if that last grenade crits you. So it critted the last 2 times, but most of the time it doesn't crit, and when it doesn't crit, it's a pretty low damage output. It seems like the only special that has a good damage output on Green Goblin and that you would want to be using most of the time is the SP2. The SP1 seems incredibly unreliable and has the 2 worst buffs I would say that you can get on Green Goblin, which is the power drain and that sweet weakness. Weakness is almost useless, at least to me. That's why I would say that shouldn't have been added to the champion, and champion did not need it, so I kind of messed up there. But I go straight back in and I kind of get a feel for the fight. So you go for the SP3 again. And if you look closely, you can see the damage for the SP3, and it was 2,900 I think, which is pretty low damage for an SP3 I think. But yeah, in most fights that's not a good amount of damage, and and the SP1 as well has a really terrible damage output, as you could have seen in that last SP1 that I did. Damage was around 81 for those initial hits, and then the last hit is about 300 to 800 if it crits. But it seems like the only thing that does decent damage when it comes to Green Goblin is his SP2. So after this fight, we are going to compare him to some other champions, a quad tier champion and a supposedly trash tier champion, and see how he stands out. As you can see, pretty underwhelming damage there, nothing critted. And just look at that terrible SP1 damage, guys. It's so bad for fully upgraded 3-star. I've seen so much better. The only good thing about Green Goblin that I could say is the madness and cunning mechanic. That isn't too bad, but otherwise he's pretty underwhelming for the most part. So we use the afterburner there. It's a 20% chance, which is a 1 in 5 chance, which isn't really a good chance. I think we've done the SP3 twice or thrice before, and we barely got any buffs. So you can see there, we got the power drain, and then we failed. So 270 hits did 65k damage. 65k damage, guys, for 270 hits. So now we have SpiderMan stack enhanced, and what we're going to do with him, we're going to do 270 hits with him and we're going to see just how much damage he does in those 270 hits. So we fire off the SP2, you can see that the damage is much better than what you would get in the SP2 for Goblin, because Goblin has that damage over time factor with the incinerating poison, as well as it's pretty similar in terms of damage for the SP2, I'd say. But you can see that SpiderMan has a way higher chance to crit, and he does have good animations just like Goblin, so it is possible to create a champion with good animations that is a very good champion in terms of utility, and that's exactly what Goblin is not. Not, because he has good animations, but he's pretty terrible. His power drain is 8%, I think Spidey's is 45%, and it's 100% chance. And most of the time, as you could have seen before, it only procs one time, which gives you, and if you're really lucky, you can get 16%, but 3, well, probably if you fire off the SP1 100 times, you might be able to get 3. But if you're in a fight where you might not fire off the SP1 100 times, then it might not work out for you then. So as you can see, at 125 hits, you can see that it already bypassed what Goblin did at 270 hits. And SpiderMan is critting way harder. SpiderMan's base attack is hitting way harder than Vulture. SpiderMan's special attacks are hitting way harder than Vulture. I did not do any SP1s in this matchup because I'm not a big fan of SpiderMan and his SP1, I think. And opposed to, probably you can say, Goblin's regen, SpiderMan has that sweet special evade. So I think the only thing that Vulture has going for him and that Kabam doesn't really need to change in terms of Goblin is that his regen and his cunning and madness work pretty good, but I think the madness damage increase should move from like 30% to 50%, and that this should make his base attack a bit better. And if they meant for him to be a power control champ, then they can change that values on the SP1 to probably around 16% to 20%. And I think that would be cool. And how they describe him, it seems like on every special attack, well, as you start to read it, on every special attack, you're going to be getting these bag of tricks, all these different buffs. But that is not so. Each special is contained to a set of buffs. So the SP3 is contained to the 4 buffs, and the SP2 is contained to the 2 damage over time buffs. What can be called arguably, well, not arguably, you can't debate this, they are the 2 best buffs, Incinerate and Poison. And then there is that OG, I let myself die there because that was the 270 hits. And here you can see the amazing damage Spidey did, 227k in 270 hits. So now we pull out a trash tier champion, we pull out Kamala Khan, and we see if she can do more damage than the 440 Green Goblin as a 3-star. As you can see, Kamala is rank 220. She is 1878. I had to play Kamala way more aggressive than I played Goblin, which is something new because that would give me the best benefit from the character. And Goblin, even if you play him aggressively, you're not going to be getting a large benefit from playing him aggressively. So I play her aggressively. I aim for 150 hits here. As you can see, the damage on base attacks is better than Goblin, but she does take a bit more damage than Goblin did, just because I have to keep playing so aggressive to keep her damage at a constant and good rate. But that's something that I think you can do in a fight once the champion doesn't have a large amount of power drain. Not power drain, power gain. I think you can play pretty aggressively in any fight unless the champion has power gain. Like increase the power gain or just power gain over time like Hyperion. And I end there. And that was it. So yeah, I ended there. 149 hits, and we do 150 we do 41k. So now we move over to Green Goblin. So we get hit there just to test out the madness buff, and you can see that it probably regened about 400 damage, but it was a pretty good chunk of regen. Couldn't see it properly because of the fast forward, to be honest. But yeah, as you can see, his damage output is way worse than Kamala Khan's was, at least on his base attacks. Like, he is hitting like 97 and stuff on his base attacks, which is something you might see on other 3-star champions when you hit into a block, which is terrible. That is so bad. And then you get that sweet weakness buff, and you can see that the power drained by the SP1 on that second to last bomb, it was just re-added from the last bomb. So the second to last bomb power drained, and the last one just added back the power that the second to last one did. And I'm seeing a recurring theme here as well. It seems like the last bomb is the only one that has a chance to give weakness, which is that OG buff. Get myself killed there. And this is time for the mind-blowing part. She does 100 in 150 hits. She does 40k. So that'll be it for